Welcome to Truth Beyond Theory, Raw and Uncut, Image of the Beast, Part 3. Now, if you want to know how it all fits, like I said, you can't apply these entities to individuals because it starts to just come out of, it just becomes uncontrollable. Like you can't, it's unorganized, right? If the Antichrist is an individual, let's and I just gave an example in part 2 of this, of Raw and Uncut. But when I first started this journey, trying to figure all these things out, I mean, I probably read Revelation dozens of times. And I used to always go to Revelation first. This is where I always made the mistake. I would always read Revelation and try to figure it out from Revelation. And then I would take Revelation and then apply that to the world and try to figure it out. Like, oh, the 7 heads. Oh, we have 7 consonants. You know, I was all these weird things. And at the time I was doing this was back in 2015, and Obama was president at the time. And I've made videos. I made on YouTube. I used to talk about a lot of this on YouTube. I made videos that Obama was the Antichrist. And I had some hand-in-hand facts that showed and proved that he was this man of lawlessness. And boy, was I wrong. But I knew Islam had something to do with it. I just couldn't shake what it was. It was like, yo, so Islam has something to do with this. And I just couldn't shake what it was. And then I prayed that, I prayed during that time, and I asked God for wisdom and knowledge. And the moment I ended prayer, I mean, it all became clear to me because I had all my notes and the Bibles and everything was open. And then when I came back to my notes, it hit me. And it's like, the veil was pulled and I was just able to see what the Bible was actually talking about. So when you apply these entities to an individual, you start to create false doctrines. For example, there's this guy that I came across with here on TikTok, and I joined his live. He teaches, he usually has like 300 people that attend his lives at a time. And he is teaching that Donald Trump is the Antichrist and that Elon Musk is the false prophet and that the mark of the beast is the Neuralink. Now pay attention to this. Donald Trump is the beast, which is the Antichrist. This is his perspective. Donald Trump is the beast, which is the Antichrist. Elon Musk is the false prophet, and the Neuralink is the mark of the beast. I mean, he stands by this. He stands by this. And I caught him with a gotcha type of question the other day on his live, and he kind of, for a few seconds, was lost. He didn't have an answer. And I asked him, I said, okay. I said, so Trump is the Antichrist, the beast. He said, yes. I said, and Elon Musk is the false prophet. He said, yes. And I said, and Neuralink is the mark of the beast. He said, yes. I said, well, how can that be? Because Elon Musk is the one who created Neuralink. So by your logic, that would be the mark of the false prophet, not the mark of the beast. And the Bible doesn't teach that the false prophet has a mark, because it's the mark of the beast. And if Donald Trump is the beast, then what is his mark? Because Elon Musk is the one who created the Neuralink. So therefore, the Neuralink comes from Elon Musk, the false prophet. And he was just like, I saw it in his face. He may never admit it. I saw it in his face. It was like, gotcha. See, because when you start going down that rabbit hole, none of it makes sense. So now you have to take these things and you have to fit it into scripture. You have to force it into it. And he made that mistake. He made the mistake in saying that Trump is the Antichrist, the beast, and Elon is the false prophet, and that Neuralink is in fact the mark of the beast. But the Neuralink belongs to Elon Musk, who he claims is the false prophet. So now what you're saying by your logic is that the mark of the beast is not the mark of the beast, it's actually the mark of the false prophet. But the Bible doesn't teach a mark of the false prophet. The Bible teaches the mark of the beast. So if Donald Trump is the beast, then what is his mark? It can't be Neuralink because that's Elon's stuff. So it just right there dismantled his entire theory. It just didn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. He even said that Kamala Harris was Mystery Babylon, the whore of Babylon, which is like, what? These are not individuals. The Bible's not talking about individuals. Mystery Babylon cannot be that. It's a city. It's a religious system. Because in Revelation 18, it talks about it being a city that gets destroyed and the smoke rises forever and ever and ever. So how can it be an individual via Kamala Harris when it's describing a city and how she is destroyed with all of her luxury? And it talks about the trading. It talks about the economics. It even talks about, you know, the things that are traded in this city. Frankincense, myrrh, and all these different things. So it's like, and he's teaching us, this is what's being taught on the internet. It's unbiblical. None of it fits scripture. None of it. Everything that the Bible is pointing to is the one thing about this, though, about all these false preachers and teachers and false prophets. The thing about this is that they all agree on one thing, and I can give them this. They cannot deny that Islam plays a major role in biblical end time prophecy. And I even asked them, I said, how is it that everything regarding end times is pointing to that part of the world? It's pointing to Muslims. It's pointing to Islam. But then the main character happens to be a Caucasian American president, the Antichrist. That doesn't make any sense. And they try to fit it like this, because the Antichrist is supposed to bring a peace agreement, etc. And they believe that Donald Trump is the one who is going to form this peace agreement. So he's like, bro, I'm gonna be honest. If you're watching this, if you know who you are. If you're watching this video, I just want you to know that when I got off that live, I almost cried. I almost sincerely and genuinely cried because I was so frustrated that you actually believe what you're teaching. And it broke my heart that you were that lost, and that you have the sheep following you into the wrong direction. I right away I called my mother, and if you know me, man, you know, just right away I said, Mom, man, I'm about to cry. There's people out here, there's hundreds and thousands. There's people that's really believing this, and none of it's biblical. And that's scary. That's scary, because does that become a salvation issue when they're looking in the wrong direction, when their hearts is in the wrong direction? I mean, the Bible tells us that my people perish for lack of knowledge. I don't know. So there you go. Those are my thoughts. Stay tuned for the next series, Mystery Babylon. Part 1 should be dropping tomorrow. If not, it will be dropping on Friday for sure. But definitely stay tuned for that. You're going to enjoy it. And then following that, I'll do another Raw and Uncut regarding Mystery Babylon. We'll go ahead and get into some scripture. And by the way, I was actually on live, my first live, technically this morning, which would be last night. And I was talking about a lot of these things. And I don't know, something I said got me banned. And now I'm banned until next week, so I can't hop on live, which I would love to do right now and just kind of go hard and break all this down, but I can't. So catch me on live next week, and stay tuned for the next video. Peace.